Hello, boys and girls. This is Old Man Yells at Cloud for Blue Powder Monkeys Patreon. And I got everything right. Hopefully. You guys can hear me. Hopefully. You can see the screen, obviously. I am here working on a comic book project called Cecilia. There's lots of information about Cecilia on the description. Basically, it's kind of a Twilight Zone homage, and I've been working on it off and on for several years. It originally was going to be a short film, and while I would still like to do that, COVID kind of killed our short film momentum, and we just never got it back. I'm looking at reference, sorry. So I've done lots of storyboards of the early part of this especially. Is this another ABI? Yeah, I have some stuff that's it's on video. Okay, that looks good. I have so much reference. We've done storyboard stuff, and I tried to do some animatic stuff, and just a shitload of things. And it's like, well, you know what I have complete control over in our graphic novel format. So I decided to go ahead and just put all the energy in that for now, and if one of those other things comes to fruition, then so be it. So the videos that I have, I wonder if this is open. There we go. Okay, I'm not necessarily going to show you the, well, maybe. When you are here to, oh shit. This actually isn't that bad. So there's a little introduction that I took out in the main graphic novel version. There we go. Oh, actually that's not very helpful for you guys. And I'm adding it back in for the, sorry, I took it out when I was going to do traditional print graphic novel, I guess. And I actually even took it out of the short film version of it because I don't know that it adds a whole lot, but in graphic novels you can put extra stuff in it. I feel it's kind of like regular novels. You know, you can get into the character's head space and do a bunch of stuff like that that you can't do in a regular movie or any movie. So anyway, this was a little animatic that we made. It starts out with somebody walking through the forest. And this is supposed to be a house right here, but that's a super shitty house. Anyway. So I'm going to redo the house part of it, obviously. In the meantime, that's pretty good, actually. So what I'm going to try to do is grab a couple frames out of this. I messed around. I'll show you in a second here. There we go. So I did a control screen capture, and then in Affinity software, which is competitor to Adobe, so it kind of integrates Photoshop and Illustrator and InDesign all into one thing. As you can see, and if you're familiar with the channel here, some of my other graphic design projects and all that. So anyway, you can do new from clipboard, and it creates a document. Boink. That is the size of your monitor. or in my case, 2 monitors. Oops, I didn't need to do the paste even. It just automatically does the thing. And then you come over here and you grab, not your vector crop unless you want to keep, vector crop is non-destructive cropping. I need destructive cropping because I don't want that other screen on there. Boom. Okay. So that's actually, you know what? Well, actually, I do that a lot. I'm going to get a couple things out of here. So let's grab. That looks pretty cool. I've decided, I get into different moods whether or not I want to just render a panel like super detailed. That's the same freaking thing. What's going on here? Do here. And then come over here and go like that. That's the same thing now. All right, Affinity. See if I have to do a special paste. Edit. Paste. Paste special. Nope. Huh. Not able to grab that image for some reason either, which is also annoying. There we go. Yeah, it's the same doodad, so I'm not sure why my screen capture isn't capturing. I hit the wrong button this whole time. Have I been hitting Control pause? No. Oh, that's a little frustrating. Same thing. It's always nice when software doesn't work right. You're trying to do a thing. Let's just hit that and see what happens. Never understood why screen print didn't just work. I guess you don't want you to accidentally copy stuff onto your clipboard. Let's try shift. Oh. All right. Nope. Boom, boom. I'm listening to the Sorcerer soundtrack, which was the odds-on favorite. And screen lock. Nope. Huh. All right, we're going to try something that's super going to annoy me. If it works, because it would be such a fucking huge pain in the ass. All right. Nope. Don't want to. Yeah, actually, I do want to do that. Get rid of that. Reopen Affinity. That actually doesn't look that bad. I'm going to hold on to it, but I'm going to redo it with the one that I well, no, maybe I'll do both. See how they look continuity-wise. Awesome. Ah, what a pain in the ass. Oh, I had mountains in the background. That's cool, though. God damn it, Affinity. Really? So you're really only going to fucking do it each time I open you up. It aggravates me so much, I almost want to go investigate. Oh, okay. Interesting. So I have to close this. Basically, on that other screen, I had to close or boop it out of full screen mode. That's still annoying, but less annoying than having to open and reopen the program all the time. Which is fucking annoying, by the way. There's not a lot that I actively dislike about Affinity. But that is one of it. And why are you still pretending that you are an image of that size? Because you are not. There we go. I don't know why these are BMPs either. It's fucking annoying. Oh well. Which I can do there. So is there a reason that I can't? Do I need to raster this? Nope, still can't do it. Man, sometimes this thing really perplexes me. I don't know why any of these aren't activated right now. Some other weird mode. Is that what's... Oh, yeah, I was in some other weird mode. See, it's still there. God damn it. Okay, so... let's do that. I think the rasterize and trim is what I wanted. You know, because why wouldn't it default to trimming shit? I guess it's... I mean... it's allowing you to technically keep your whole thing. Oh, shit. Which people, I guess, had been clamoring for. Oh my gosh. All right. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So now we export JPEG, highest quality. Oh, that's giant. Whoa. Let's do that. We call this prologue. Should learn the shortcut, Control Alt Shift W for some reason. Wow, this AVI being full screen messes with my stuff. I wonder if that's just a weird little thing or a freaking VLC thing. I don't know. Let's see here. Not connected, huh? Okay, well, YouTube thinks I'm getting the feed. OBS not as much. So let me do a couple things here. So I don't know, like tech shit. You think that all this shit would be sort of worked out by now, but huh. Uh-oh, what happened here? Okay, cool. Well, it says that YouTube is not receiving something something. I don't know what any of that means. And it looks like it's being live on YouTube. Of course, all this would go by faster if had some way of verifying that it was actually out there live, but I don't. Well, it says it is on YouTube. I didn't want to have the YouTube. My idea was to not have the YouTube stream open on YouTube. At the same time, I'm like, oh, I can just, thought I was all excited, I could just have the, okay. I'm going to close it down and hope for the best. I mean, no one's watching this live, so hopefully you fast forwarded through all this nonsense. All right. That's previs. So I need to go to, oh my gosh, it got closed. How did it Get closed. Doing the Arrival soundtrack at this point after Sorcerer. Projects, Cecilia, comic version, reference. Yoink. Oh, giant. Not sure why they don't come in. Why is this a two-step process? All right, so let's try out a thing here. Let's try to drag this right into that. Oh, there we go. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Oh, stuck it at the bottom. That's cool. Made it gigantic. That's fine. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. No. Why wouldn't... Oh. God, this thing. We're having to learn, like, every fucking piece of software doing its own fucking thing. I actually kind of like that quite a bit. I'm going to redo this, most likely, kind of hand draw it. Move this whole fucking... I can. Excellent. I'm guessing there's a way to automatically make your paper black, or since there's a way to make it white. But you know. I'll make that a little more organic. Okay, so then let's do panel. Yeah. Every time I come down to this, I never remember how to, like, is that it? Nope. Nope. Oh well. Let's try. Okay, so all of that. Sorry, I gotta look this up. Like, I keep forgetting. The problem is I work in like 5 or 6 different pieces of software. They all do things differently, except for a small handful of things that they all do the same. Alright, so then it says operation tool. Okay. Operation tool, select a panel. Okay. God, what a pain in the ass. What's this blue line around it, I wonder? Oh, trim or something, or bleed, which I don't need. Alright, so now, of course, we've got to figure out how to get out of operations mode. I mean, that's fine, frame 2, I guess. Purple line, I bet I could make disappear. Very common question, so ruler A. Can't just double click it and make it go away though. I gotta fucking right click it. Ugh. Alright, so then back up to here. I feel like this isn't me being a doddering old dum-dum. I feel like this is a fucking shit that everybody goes through because this shit is just designed badly. It does a lot of cool things, but like with the with the Adobe shit, like you know, they never fucking updated anything as far as their tools are all still from like 1996 or whatever. You see that a lot with just fucking older shit that should have touch screen capability. Sort of, I mean, everybody, a lot of people got used to like, oh, this, you know, have a touch screen. This next generation came up and they're like, why doesn't that just do this when I do this? And it's like, well, okay, so let's be extra fucking tricky here. If I was to do this, excellent. Now I'm starting to groove on this shit. Yes, I do. Okay, I feel like that's all I need to say. So let's stretch this out a little bit. Let's do that. Down to about here. Let's grab Cecilia. Cool. All right, cool. Whoa. And bonk. All right, so part of me, well, I'll do the writing part of it because I'm actually adding this. Oh, this isn't in the original script. Fuck you. Okay, and let's go here. Because I'm a typographer, I actually like the text manipulation stuff. Probably a little more than I should. All right. Funny part about this whole thing, well, there's lots of funny things, but I don't actually have a copy of the script open right now. So now this is what I mean by drilling into the details. Sometimes I get a little too involved when I should just be laying stuff out. Yeah. Off you go. Using a font called Oda Balloon. There was a guy, I think it was Ben Oda, who was a comic book letterer in the comic book letterer in the 70s and 80s. Well, probably more than that. But I grew up reading comics. In the 70s. So those always have a little more meaning to me. And I definitely wasn't like an 80s comic guy. I'm not a fan of most of the 80s comics. Mid-late 80s image era, that type of thing. Not my cup of tea. Artwork, I think, got definitively worse. Everything got overblown and steroided, like everything in the 80s. Ben Oda, he died in '84. Letterer for comic books, blah 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 blah. So yeah, he did like Flash Gordon and shit back in the Syndicate days. But I remember his name. He was one of the first letterers that I knew by name. Because he worked, I'm guessing primarily DC. See, it says here, Action, which I read, Justice League of America, I read in the 70s. Not Wonder Woman as much in the 70s, but New Ever, Teen Titans, I read New Teen Titans. And it says a plethora of others. But anyway, he was, I think, he was the first letterer that I recognized a letterer's name. So his family designed Oda Balloon, which is a free typeface in his lettering style. And when I was looking around for free typefaces, because I am a guy who understands, I do understand the worth of paying for a good font. But at the time that I started kind of messing around with doing online graphic novel stuff, or experimenting anyway, I have yet to actually finish a fucking online graphic novel, so who am I to talk? Anyway, I was not in a position where I could pay for a professional font, and I was never a huge bootlegging guy as far as like, you know, bootlegging software and fonts and that kind of thing. I usually tried to pay for stuff, but in this case, I didn't really need to, because like it doesn't have special effects lettering or any options other than just the straight stuff, but straight stuff works fine for me here. Okay. I think I need to make Cecilia a little bigger. I think this is a little too... the other thing I always forget, because it's so much easier to do in every other program, is space out the letters. It's leading, basically, or sorry, kerning. In any other program, you just put the cursor in between the letters and just Control arrow key. Which means you can adjust the kerning on an individual basis. And I am almost 100% sure you cannot do that. You actually, let's be fair. I'm on Clip Studio like 1 point something. Like, this is an old ass version of this program, and it still should have had. Yeah, you can't do it. It still should have had kerning. Even then, because every other program did. Subtool detail. But it doesn't. So it looks like it might in... oh, that's right. I forgot about this little doodad. Yeah, here's line spacing. Okay, so oh, that's not working. Let's try it again. That's not working either. So awesome. Okay, so that's lit as far as I know. I wonder if that's the spacing in between lines. It is. It's character spacing. So dumb. Alright, and let's fatten this up a little bit. And you have to use a separate one to condense it. Yeah, that's some old school shit right there. But not even like, this is like pre old school almost. I mean, it would almost be better off putting each individual letter, doing something fanciful that way. Still like the thinner version better. Mixing font. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, I was going to make it bigger. Oh, all of this is just so cumbersome. All this switching back and forth. I should probably just do the fucking text in fucking Affinity, honestly. Oh, fuck. I guess I closed that. Let's open it back up. All right, cool. So now we do this, making its default. Okay. So if I do this, yeah. Aha! Oh! All right, that helps a lot. And as a matter of fact, before I forget, let's go back to here. Let's get rid of this. I was like, that's going to make weird shit happen. That's cool. This one? Oh. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Wait, is this? Oh, there we go. It's like, what was going on? All right. Let's see. We're going to do the house at some point on that other page. I'll worry about that later. Let's see how many. Definitely did a lot of. Ah, damn it. lot of images for this thing, a lot of different versions. I kind of like the chaos version of this one. Stills, references. Comic version. Okay, that's cool. I like this actually enough where I'm going to keep it, I think. I think I might, let's do this. What's the vertical, about vertical phone reference? Oh, I know what I could do. There we go. lost that. Shouldn't have deleted that other thing. So now I gotta go back and find it. Wasn't there? There it is. Oh, there's my alignment shit. Okay. Wondering. Just assumed it didn't have it. Just dumb. Okay. Gotta do it beforehand. Oh, goodness. Now, what happened to the other stuff that I needed? Air property? Nope. All right, well, fuck. I can do other stuff. Transform. Nope. Not navigator. There we go. Okay, so 36. Okay, pretty close. Not sure where that's negative, but not sure why that was flopped.